job was to leave the game better than I came into it. You think Cheryl Miller is resentful for me that I had a league to play in? No, she's being the mentor that she is, and she's supporting and loving and sitting courtside cheering on Juju Watkins. And I'm doing the same for Caitlin Clark and all the women in the WNBA.
Candace Parker, the legendary three-time WNBA champion and widely regarded as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, just unleashed a blistering critique of WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert's leadership, and it was nothing short of seismic. In what may go down as one of the most devastating and unapologetically direct takedowns in league history, Parker called out Engelbert's failures in advancing player equity, league visibility, and overall strategic direction. With the precision and poise she's known for on the court, Parker didn't mince words and made it abundantly clear that the current state of leadership is out of step with the league's potential.
Candace Parker ended up dropping some big facts on First Take, man, talking about resentment on younger players from older players and retired players. She had a great dialogue.
Stephen A. Smith, one of the most respected and outspoken voices in sports media, sat down with Candace Parker on ESPN's First Take for an interview that instantly sent shockwaves through the WNBA world. Cutting straight to the heart of the conversation dominating the league, Smith asked the question everyone's been dying to hear answered. What's really behind the so-called resentful narrative surrounding Caitlin Clark? Is there tension brewing as the spotlight shifts toward the rookie phenom, and are veteran players, some of whom have built the league from the ground up, feeling overlooked in this new era of women's basketball? Parker didn't shy away, offering insight that was as thoughtful as it was unfiltered, and the moment felt like a turning point in a conversation that's been bubbling beneath the surface all season.
When we look at the WNBA, whether we've speculated about resentment or whatever it is, ultimately it comes down to the fact that there were an abundance of women in the WNBA doing tremendous work on behalf of the WNBA and the game of basketball, and you just sense that folks were feeling an absence of appreciation for what they had done and what their collective contribution was to bring the WNBA to where it is now and where it evidently is going. Can you speak to that collective frustration that some may have been feeling, and whether or not you think it's something that's being overcome as you all thrive and move forward and continue to promote and uplift this league?
Now here's where it gets absolutely beautiful. While Cathy Engelbert has been stumbling through press conferences with tone-deaf remarks and appearing to minimize Caitlin Clark's undeniable impact on the WNBA, Candace Parker stepped up and delivered a masterclass in real leadership. With grace, clarity, and unapologetic honesty, Parker didn't just defend the game, she elevated the entire conversation. She acknowledged Clark's transformative presence while also championing the veterans who paved the way, striking the exact balance the league's leadership has failed to find. In that moment, Parker wasn't just speaking as a former player. She was embodying the kind of vision and integrity the WNBA desperately needs at the top.
Has grown so much, and it's just been amazing to watch. When you put it on television, the numbers don't lie, and visibility matters. Being able to have slots on ABC and ESPN, I know a couple years ago was the first time that the NCAA tournament was put on ABC, and we saw what the viewership looked like. So just looking at the growth of the league, the style of play, now there's being expansion teams and all that stuff. So as a fan, as a lover of the WNBA, I'm excited where it's at.
It's so crazy to me because I'm asked so many times if I'm resentful in any type of way for where the WNBA is right now, Candace Parker said, with the kind of clarity and wisdom that makes you seriously question why she isn't running the entire league. My job was to leave the game better than I came into it. You think Cheryl Miller is resentful of me because I had a league to play in? No. She's being the mentor that she is, supporting and loving. And I'm doing the same for Caitlin Clark and all the women in the WNBA. Did you hear that? That's the sound of a true leader speaking, someone who actually gets what the WNBA stands for, who honors its past while fiercely investing in its future. Parker's words were powerful, unifying, and deeply rooted in purpose, the complete opposite of the detached corporate tone we've been hearing from Commissioner Cathy Engelbert.
I'm like Candace Parker, look, you shouldn't feel that way. The same way she brought up the idea of Cheryl Miller supporting her, that's how everybody should be. But it's more so of they want to paint the narrative that it's a white and black thing going on. And now that toxic energy is spilling over to people who don't even watch the games. So now they feel like they are a part of the league just because they know or feel like they know what's going on with the race thing. Like, cut it out, man.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe, because we need to talk about Cathy Engelbert for a moment, and not in a good way. This is a commissioner who keeps making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Remember that absolutely bizarre comment she made about Caitlin Clark potentially getting hurt. When asked about the Clark phenomenon, Engelbert couldn't even celebrate the generational talent without immediately pivoting to downplay her impact. "No league is ever about one player," she said, before casually tossing in the most tone-deaf line imaginable. "That player could get hurt or whatever. Are you kidding me? This is your biggest star, the athlete who has single-handedly brought tens of millions of new eyes to the league, and your response is, that?" Fans were already pulling their hair out, but somehow it got worse. When directly asked about the racist and toxic behavior directed at Caitlin Clark and other players, Engelbert completely fumbled the moment. Instead of taking a firm stance against racism, misogyny, and harassment, she offered some vague comment about rivalries being good for the league. The WNBA Players Association had to publicly call her out for failing to address the hate head-on. This is supposed to be the person leading women's basketball into the future? This is the commissioner we're trusting to protect and promote the league's biggest stars? Please.
And when questioned about the racism and sexism some of the players in the W were facing, she compared it to the Magic Johnson-Larry Bird rivalry as no big deal. Actually something that the league wanted to see.
Now contrast that disaster with how Candace Parker approaches leadership and mentorship, and the difference is night and day. When Stephen A. Smith asked her about the collective frustrations some veteran players might be feeling, Parker didn't dodge the question or spin it into a PR-friendly talking point. She got right to the core of what actually matters. "Let's keep it about basketball," she said, with the kind of directness that cuts through all the noise. "That's my thing." And in that one simple statement, Parker laid out the philosophy that could quite literally save the WNBA from the leadership vacuum it's currently trapped in. 5 words. Let's keep it about basketball. That's it. That's the mantra. While Cathy Engelbert is out here making weird, dismissive comments about potential injuries and refusing to take a strong stance on serious issues like racism and misogyny, Parker is laser-focused on the game and the people who make it special. She doubled down on that message, saying, "I think that rivalry is super important, and I think conversation is super important, but I want to keep it within the lines of the game, and I think that's what's most important." This is someone who understands that you can have competition, excitement, and compelling narratives without letting things spiral into the toxic chaos that Engelbert seems either unwilling or unable to